Welcome back, everybody, to English is Easy, another episode of Learn English Through News. We have some big, serious breaking news for you guys today. Former President Donald Trump has been shot. So today we are going to be taking a look at this big, serious news story. And here's the plan. First, I'm going to read a simple article to you guys explaining what has happened. You can just sit back and listen as I read this article to you guys quickly the first time. Then we will take a look at some advanced vocabulary words and make sure we understand all of the difficult language in the article. Following that, we will take a second look through the article, going line by line to make sure we understand everything thoroughly and clearly. Finally, at the end of today's video, we will have some time for discussion and speaking practice to talk about this news story and to talk about what has happened. So, let's get started. Former President Donald Trump was hurt in a shooting on Saturday evening during his rally or political event in Butler, Pennsylvania. The Secret Service reported that a gunman and at least one audience member were killed, and 2 other people were critically injured. Trump wrote on social media that he was hit by a bullet in the upper part of my right ear. The Secret Service, or a team that keeps the president safe, stated that the former president is safe after being quickly taken off the stage with blood on his face. A spokesperson said Trump is fine after this heinous act. The Secret Service explained that the shooter fired multiple shots from a high position outside the rally before being killed by agents. Law enforcement sources informed that the shooter was on a rooftop just outside the rally site. The shooting is being investigated as an attempted assassination, according to law enforcement officials. President Joe Biden condemned the violence in his remarks on Saturday night and earlier said in a statement that he's grateful Trump is safe. Okay, guys, that was a quick read of this news article. Hopefully, you were able to understand most of the article and most of the information. Now, if there was some language that is still unclear to you, or you're still a bit confused, don't worry, because now we are going to do a language breakdown and take a look at some of the more difficult language used, starting with heinous. Heinous. It means extremely wicked or evil. In other words, very bad or terrible. Here's an example sentence. The crime was so heinous that it shocked the entire community. Okay, so yeah, this word basically means that something is terrible, it's unthinkably evil. Guys, if you are a Patreon member or a channel member, then you have access to the PDF of this video, of this lesson, and you can follow along at home. What I'd like to do now is draw a quick doodle, a quick picture to help us remember this word heinous. Now, basically, we need to draw a picture of something that is extremely wicked, extremely evil. So what I'm going to do is draw a picture of somebody looking pretty evil here, right? I'll draw some devil horns on his head, and here's a house over here, and what has happened is he has set this house on fire. And we can say that that is a truly heinous act. We call that arson. Arson, the act of setting something on fire in a criminal way. We call that arson. So we have this guy over here committing arson. It's a really heinous thing to do. It's a really heinous act. So if you're following along at home, you can draw a picture of this or something else that helps you remember this word. Go ahead. Up next, we have attempted assassination. It means trying to kill someone important, okay? Or in other words, an effort to murder a significant person, okay? Murder just means kill. Significant means important. Okay, so if there is an attempted assassination, attempted means somebody tried to kill someone and they were unsuccessful. An attempted assassination. They tried to, it didn't work. Once again, assassination just means a killing of someone, a murdering of someone. Okay, here's an example sentence. The authorities stopped an attempted assassination of the leader. Okay, so authorities, the law, the people in charge, they stopped an attempted assassination of the leader. So somebody was trying to kill the leader. They were unsuccessful. So it was an attempted assassination. If they had succeeded, then we can say that's an assassination. Somebody was assassinated. Assassinated. But if it doesn't work, it's an attempted assassination. Okay, so I think for the picture, I'm just going to very quickly draw somebody with a gun, and they're trying to shoot somebody, but look, they miss. It goes right over his head. It doesn't hit him, right? It goes over his head, and so that's an attempted assassination. This guy's going, whoa. Okay, he's probably feeling pretty lucky, just as I'm sure Donald Trump is feeling pretty lucky right now that he wasn't killed by the attempted assassination. One final word I'd like to talk about is condemned, okay? It means strongly disapproved of or criticized. If you speak out against something very strongly, you speak out against something. You are not for it, you are against it, so you are condemning it. Basically, if you publicly say that something is very bad, and you disapprove of it, you do not approve of it, then you are condemning it. So the president condemned the violent attack in his speech. And this is something that we have seen in real life happen after this attempted assassination of Donald Trump. Joe Biden, current president, the president now, Joe Biden, he did come out and condemn this violence. He came out and said violence should never be an option in politics, right? So let's draw a very quick picture of this. Maybe we have, from our last drawing, somebody trying to assassinate someone they don't like, maybe a political rival. Now this is an attempted assassination. Why? Because it doesn't work. Now, somebody sees this, right? He sees it happen, and that makes him very upset. So what does he do? He opens his mouth. Let's do a speech bubble, not a thought bubble. And he condemns this act. He says, that's not a good thing to do. I disapprove of this. I am criticizing you. So he is condemning what this man is doing. Now that we understand some of the more complex, difficult, advanced vocabulary in this article, let's come back one more time and go line by line, making sure we understand everything clearly. Former President Donald Trump was hurt in a shooting on Saturday evening. Okay, let's start with that. Former president just means he used to be the president. He's not anymore. He was hurt in a shooting on Saturday evening. Okay, that was the time of the attack. He wasn't killed. He was hurt, or we can say injured. He was injured. Okay, now this happened during his rally, a political event. We can call that a rally. Okay, a rally is when you go and you give a talk. If you are running for the office of president, if you want to become the president, you go and you have or host a rally. And your supporters will come out to the rally, you'll give a speech, and you will try to connect with them. You will try to connect with the audience, right? This happened in a place called Butler in the state of Pennsylvania. Now, the Secret Service is a team, and one of their missions, one of their goals is to keep the president safe. So this team called the Secret Service, they told reporters that a gunman and at least one audience member were killed. Okay, let's take a look at that. So this team of people said that a gunman, a person holding a gun, this was the guy who committed the attempted assassination. This guy who is wielding a gun. Wielding, that means he is using a gun to try and hurt someone. He was killed, and at least one audience member was killed as well. At least one, so maybe more than one. At this point, the details are still a bit blurry. We're still not sure exactly what happened. Okay, 2 other people, they were critically injured. They're hurt, they're injured, but it's not looking good. They were critically injured. If you are critically injured, then your injuries are critical, and maybe your life is in danger. Trump wrote on social media that he was hit by a bullet in the upper part of my right ear. Let's take a look at that. So Donald Trump, after this happened, he went on social media. Maybe it's Facebook, maybe it's, some other platform online. I actually think he's banned on Facebook, so maybe not Facebook, but, some other platform, some online platform, and he let people know. He wrote, maybe in a tweet, maybe in a message, he wrote that he was hit by a bullet in the upper part of his right ear. Okay, so let's draw a little picture here. And, this is the left side. This is the right side. The bullet came and hit right here, the upper part of his right ear. The Secret Service, or once again, a team that keeps the president safe, they made an announcement that the former president is safe after being quickly taken off the stage or the place where he was making his speech, and he had blood on his face. So, he was hit, he was bleeding, there was blood coming down his face. A spokesperson said Trump is fine after this heinous act. A spokesperson is somebody who makes messages to the public on behalf of Trump. Okay, so he's working for Trump, making messages to the public. He's a part of Trump's team, working in public relations and letting everybody know what has happened, giving an official message. Okay, now he said that Trump is fine. In other words, he's okay. He is going to recover after this heinous act. This heinous act. Now, this is a word we just talked about, just means evil. This terrible act. Okay, an act is something you do, like an action, right? The Secret Service explained, so they made it clear, that the shooter, or the person who tried to hit Donald Trump, they fired multiple shots. So more than one shot from their gun. They fired several times from a high position outside the rally before being killed by agents. Okay, so a high position. Maybe if Trump is down here, they are up on top of a building, a high position. The elevation is higher up, and they're shooting down at Trump, okay? And that was before they were killed by agents. Law enforcement sources informed that the shooter was on a rooftop. Okay, so he was up on a roof just outside the rally site. If we say just outside the rally site, then that means he was not far away. He was just outside. We could also say he was right outside. Okay, he was right outside the rally site, or the place where the rally was being held. Site just means where something is happening, right? So this was the site of the rally. It was also the site of the shooting, okay, of the shooting. The shooting is being investigated as an attempted assassination. So this is the way they are taking a look at this incident. It is being investigated. They're trying to get to the bottom of this. Okay? They're trying to get to the bottom of this. They are investigating, trying to figure out exactly what happened. And right now, the way they are looking at this incident, at this heinous act, is as an attempted assassination. And this is according to law enforcement officials. An official is somebody who is an important part of an organization, probably the government. So law enforcement, that could mean police, that could mean Secret Service, that could mean anybody who is trying to enforce or carry out the law. President Joe Biden condemned the violence. We talked about this word, condemned. He said that this violence is a very bad thing. When did he say it? In his remarks, or we could say statements. He's talking to the press. He's talking to the media. Okay? He is putting his message out there. He did this Saturday night. He made these remarks on Saturday night. And earlier, he said in a statement that he's grateful Trump is safe. So, in other words, he's thankful. He's glad nothing happened. Well, something did happen and Trump is injured. But in English, when we say nothing happened, what we really mean is that he wasn't killed. He's still alive. Now, very quickly, I would like to end this video with a discussion question for you guys. So what you can do is take 1 minute and challenge yourself to talk out loud and respond to this question. If you would like to practice your speaking, if you would like to practice your writing skills, you can also leave me a comment in the comment section of this video. I will go first and give you a demonstration, speaking for 1 minute and showing you how I would respond to this question. But first, let's take a look. What effects might violent incidents like this have on public gatherings and political rallies? Okay, so effects. So how might this affect public gatherings? Okay, people coming together at a public place, in a public space, political rallies, people gathering to support a political nominee, a political figure, a political person. What effect might violent incidents like this? Okay, so this very violent thing has happened. The question is, how is this going to affect the gathering of people in public? Will there be an effect? What kind of an effect will there be? I'll go first. Here's my 1 minute. Okay, so obviously something very serious has happened today. The life of former President Donald Trump was in jeopardy. It was at risk. It was in danger because a lone gunman, as far as we know, a lone gunman, that means he was working by himself. He was positioned on a rooftop at this rally, and he almost killed Trump, former President Trump. So I think there will be an effect of this on public gatherings and political rallies. I think we will be able to see that this will have an effect on these things, on gatherings, political or non-political, but especially political. I think in the future, the president will have more protection and maybe take more protective measures, take more precaution when they make a public appearance. Okay, guys, that was my minute. Now it's your turn. Really push yourself to go for the full minute. Go ahead. thank you guys for watching. This has been another episode of Learn English Through News. Once again, this is a big breaking news story. We're still learning more. So in a couple days, some of the information in this article might no longer be accurate. I'm not sure. But as of now, this is what we know to be true. Once again, if you guys like this video, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. If you would like the PDF of this lesson, as well as access to bonus content, then be sure to become a channel member. You can click the join button next to the subscribe button here on my YouTube channel, or you can follow me on Patreon to become a member. So thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.